Yo, what's going on, my people? My good people. Appreciate you tuning in as always. You know what we about to do and how we do it. You know how we get down. ATN Outside the Box. Like, subscribe, share as always. Please post this, share it. Post your comments below in the section. I want to hear what you're thinking, what you're feeling about it. Got some questions last night on last night's video. Had some people send me some comments. I responded to those comments. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, things just kind of gets, they get thicker and thicker, as the plot thickens, as they say, So they made a decision. I heard it this morning. They're talking about cutting the budget LA County Sheriff Department, right? You're talking about something like $162 million, maybe even more. They're going to put it on the ballot and let the people vote for November. And the voting is, let's just vote to just defund the police and let's get all the police out. And what's interesting about this is that you're talking about up to thousands of officers being laid off, thousands off the streets. And it's absolutely incredible to think that the most manned metropolitan city in the U.S., basically, okay? Undermanned, like they already don't have enough officers. They're already short officers. What's going on, Nico? How you doing, man? Good to see you, baby. Mike, how you doing out there in Brazil? My man Mike, good to see you, man. I'm glad you're listening in. I appreciate you. Thanks for your support. But it's interesting to me because you got an area that is already undermanned. They don't have enough people. Don't have enough officers. So the last thing you need to do is drop the numbers of officers in an area. And I know what it's like, man. I'm gonna tell you from experience. Like I told you guys before, I've been on the other side, on a patrol environment, in a patrol environment. When I'm I may be in an area as a county employee or as an officer, and I'm working on the streets, and I'm in an area where I don't have a backup that's close and nearby. So you're going through things and you're working in. I'm not talking about a beautiful area either. That's why I said beautiful. I ain't talking about a beautiful area. I'm talking about a nasty area. And you out there on an island solo, you need more officers out there. Because, my life is at stake also, in case anybody didn't check. My family's life is at stake. I got a wife and kids at the house too. You understand what I'm saying? So people trip me out with this. And see, I definitely got to put something out there, because my next issue is going to be, I'm going to need to put something out where people need to be questioned. What if we did everything God's way? I'm just wondering. What's up with you? How you doing? Lonnie, what's happening? How you doing out there? Yeah, I got people calling from South Africa. My people from South Africa. Love to see you on the other side, baby. All my people on South Africa, thanks for joining. Thanks for listening in. I appreciate you. Definitely hit me up. Hit me up out there on Facebook. Hit me up on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, ATN Talks, Outside the Box. Make sure you do that. But here's what's getting under my skin. If we just did things the way God asked us to do them, would we be having all these problems? Will we need to defund anything? Will we need to worry about how? And I'm not just talking about the streets. I'm talking about law enforcement too. Yeah, law enforcement got to do things the right way, integral. That's what we go to the academy for. But I'm telling you right now, why don't we just take it back to the VeggieTales version of this? The VeggieTales version says, do good to people and you won't have bad done to you. Do what you're supposed to do, because otherwise you're just heaping coals upon your head. It's a pretty simple formula. God puts us all on this earth, says, hey, I need you to live this way, do this, and more importantly, get the houses in order. We keep talking about the same thing, and we're going to beat a dead horse. We're going to keep on going, because people don't understand. If the home is in order, we don't have people that don't know how to conduct themselves outside the house having encounters with the wrong groups of people. You won't have encounters with a law enforcement officer. You won't have an encounter with a judge of the judicial system. You won't have an encounter with a probation officer or parole officer, because you'll be doing what you're supposed to be doing. But it takes a parent, a mom and a dad, either or somebody that's an impact. Maybe it's grandma and grandpa who are having an impact on the life of these young people, to give them a different look That's how it has to be done. We can't rely on the governmental positions to fix the problem. The problem rests. The core of the issue, the root of this tree is rooted in the child rearing form of it. We got to stop talking about everything else because we're going around talking about different stuff. It's not going to fix the problem, baby. It's not going to fix the problem. The problem needs to start at the house. You get the house in order, and the children won't be spoiled, rotten brats that grew up to be older, spoiled, rotten criminals. You don't get a criminal from a good kid who's been raised and reared right. And when you do, they could always be reeled back in because eventually that kid's going to hear the voice of a sound individual judgment call, a sound individual parent, mom or dad in their ear, checking them, letting them know what's happening. You feel me? And so that's what I'm saying. I think we need to get back to the grassroots side of this thing. Parents need to handle their business. Children need to be reared properly. And we don't have the criminals having, you know, most of the young people, young black men who are running into cops, most of the young black men who are in institutions, many of them who have many children out of wedlock. And I'm not just saying this is every black man, but I'm giving you the stats on this. We have to realize that people who are running and having contacts with these cops and dealing with the judicial system half of their teenage and adult life are the ones who choose to make decisions, but many of those decisions are being made out of their own consciousness or something they were taught prior to the event. And if we can get them in a different mindset, rear them properly. The book of Joshua clearly says, Joshua 24, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. If we have people that are taking that stance in their home, then your children won't have to suffer the consequence that comes along with being a criminal or having criminal behavior. You'll never see a black robe in a courtroom if you just handle your business. I stated to you a couple of days ago, why is it that some scholars ain't having these run-ins with cops? Just like, and if you do have a run-in with a cop, you walk away with your life. You walk away without any kind of interaction negatively with this law enforcement. What's up, Michelle Brown? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on Instagram and YouTube. Michelle, also check it out. Go to YouTube when you get a chance. Go to ATN Talks Outside the Box and subscribe to the channel. I much appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. But anyway, listen, folks. I just had a little something on my mind. This bill is going to come out in November. They're going to vote on it. And it's going to be a big deal. If I was you, I'd vote against it so we can make sure we keep the officers on the street. Pulling officers off the street is not going to fix the problem, because if we get enough officers off the street, if the home is not in order, we still going to have the same issue the next day. After we let all these officers go home, send them packing, and lay them off work, we still got a problem in the streets, because folks in the streets got to understand we got to fix the inner city ourselves. We can't depend on law enforcement to fix it. And law enforcement defunding is not the answer. The answer is, let's get the home in order. Just like Villanueva said, the deputy sheriff of Los Angeles. I'll end with this, and he said this specifically. When the wolf convinces the sheep that the sheepdog is not necessary, we got a problem. I say that again. When a wolf convinces the sheep that the sheepdog is not necessary, we have a problem. So in other words, in layman's terms, when you got yourself convinced that the cops are the issue, or the cops are the reason why there's crime in the inner city, we got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. I'm gonna tell you this. Get back at me a little bit later. I might do something tonight. We'll see. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll talk to you tomorrow, as we always do, outside the box. And we're going to come outside of the box. We don't do the norm. We're not the normal, okay? We do stuff a little bit different around here. We talk a little bit different. We act a little bit different. We don't roll with the masses. I'm not a puppet, and you're not going to puppeteer me. I'm about God's business, but I'm about doing things the right way. You want results? We got to do it the right way. So let's stop complaining, pointing the finger, and let's look in the freaking mirror. Do what we're supposed to do. Outside the box, your man ATN. Like, subscribe, share. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Come on and get at me. ATN, signing off.